And it's funny you say that because that's actually one of the topics of our discussion. So we could just jump right into this. Enough talking about Raw Dog. That's a perfect segue right there.
I guess it doesn't get anything better than that.
What's her name?
Asia Argentino.
Yeah, you got that. So she was accused of what? Having raping a 16-year-old boy?
Not raping. Well, come on, you can't. It's not
rape. No, you know what? Though?
Statutory.
I put it in the group chat. And I didn't read it yet. So that's where we're at right now.
I saw it, but I never really read it.
All right, so Dustin.
So I'm like, okay, whatever.
Dustin knows the facts of the knowledge.
Yeah. I don't really know the facts too much. I think it's definitely interesting that she's the leader of the Me Too movement, so to speak, or the face of it, and that she's kind of caught up in something like this in herself. Apparently, he was like 17 and she thought he was 21. And,
it's like you know the math on that.
Yeah, exactly, right? But I mean, I don't necessarily think that's rape. That's statutory rape, if you really want to say it. But he's 17, like, is what it is. You know what I mean? But it's just interesting that it happened, because...
Who came forward with that? Did he come forward with that?
I think so. Apparently, from what I read, the money, right? Apparently, Anthony Bourdain, paid out $380,000 to the kid or something, or to the kid's family. So maybe he bragged about it, or his family found out, and they're like, hey, let's see if we can get some money out of this or something, right?
Yeah.
But it's definitely interesting. It's definitely, you know what I mean? Like, it adds a little twist to the whole conversation, and you know what I mean? If people want to add their their 2 cents to the conversation, they could definitely throw that in.
It's definitely clickbait worthy head titles.
I like that. I like 100%. That a lot. Clickbait worthy
It's kind of
titles.
like when it comes to statutory rape or pedophilia, it's like there's a double standard.
I was going to bring that up.
If a woman does something, how it's treated, and even how we treat, you see all these teachers, teachers having affairs with their students. All of us were like, oh, damn, I wish I was in that situation.
Yeah, right.
We're not looking at it as pedophilia. We're not looking at it as an issue. But women now, they say different.
You know what? It's an interesting thing, it's an interesting thing to think, if you're a guy and you're a particular age, and like you said, 17, is there a difference between a 17-year-old guy and a 17-year-old girl? Like, what do you guys think?
No, that's the same thing.
When it comes to sexual relationships.
It's the same thing.
Okay, I feel you.
Number's a number, but.
What do you guys?
Would you call a 17-year-old boy fucked up for fucking a 17-year-old girl? Like, nah, it's the same thing.
I like how we are deciding that we're the experts on pedophilia.
We don't know anything.
No, I don't think that's not
pedophilia, though. It's just more of an opinion.
That's not,
it's more just a fact of opinion.
Just breaking down the facts.
Yeah.
I had a huge debate about that.
You stepped into this conversation confidently.
Right.
Forget politics. Forget the hashtag Me Too movement or getting people offended. Just the fact that the subject matter, you didn't feel like, I didn't even hear a thought. Like, there wasn't a break. Like, all right, let's think about this for a sec. It was just like, nah, I already have my opinions on pedophilia and stuff.
I don't actually have one, honestly.
No, we're kind of getting to the bottom of it.
Last week. A big debate about it.
But you know what? With that being said, there's another line of debate.
Let's see what Mike is saying.
No. Keep going.
I'm just saying we had a huge debate about this on my page last week where a teacher caught again with a student.
Yeah.
And how we treat it. And
like a male student.
Or the Tekashi, say with the Tekashi situation.
Right.
Yeah.
Where he would technically no penetration, whatever.
Yeah.
But because he uploaded the video to the internet, and the fact that he was in the room when this girl was doing all this stuff, it makes him seem like a rape person.
Right.
Which he didn't do anything.
Right.
But then when you get charged, you get charged what they want to charge you for.
For sure.
So that affects how people perceive you.
For sure.
So it's kind of like it's.
But these teachers did sleep with the boys, though.
21, 17. Is there a gray
To
area,
me-
or is there 100%?
To me personally, it's like
away.
looking back, I just look at it like when I was young. When I was in high school, I knew fucking like dudes who were 25 like dating girls that were like 17 and shit. That shit was like weird as shit, but you're like whatever. Like, and then you get older and you're like, oh, that's kind of pedophilia.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? So there's lines to it. Like, but I don't know.
But then like a year later, she's 18 and she's legal. So it's a little.
But then
weird.
where do you draw that line? It's like R. Kelly, didn't he like
Oh yeah.
Start dating Aaliyah when she was 15.
We're gonna go to R. Kelly now. Wow. No, I feel you. R. Kelly is definitely like.
So like, where's that level stay? You know what I mean? Like, what's the defining level of not being legal and being legal and still being morally okay and not?
So the problem is that the line is in mentality. Right?
Word.
So it's extremely easy for someone who's 25, 30 years old to... Can we swear here?
Yeah,
fuck
for
yeah.
sure. Yeah, go ahead, man.
To mind fuck a little girl.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
And make her think you're the greatest thing in the world. So it's almost like easy pickings.
Yeah. Which I agree. That's like, yeah.
Right? So in that situation, everyone looks at that person like, okay, you're obviously a waste man. Like you can't get your own age.
Yeah.
Right? So I feel like everyone's trying to create whatever rules or laws or regulation to X that out. You're taking advantage of this girl because it has nothing to do with how they look.
Yeah.
Some of them might look 25.
Yeah. Right.
Some of them might act 25, make the money a 25-year-old makes.
Yep.
Right? So we're trying to find all these ways to create some sort of legality
around something
that.
right.
And we can't really define it because it's about mentality.
Yeah.
Right? And
Word up.
the same thing is probably happening to people in the same age range when you're able, this girl's stupid. Right?
Yeah.
This guy's stupid. Now I can just mind fuck. I could just take advantage of that.
Just take advantage of,
Right? So,
But my argument, though, or my question is a man or a boy at 17 on the verge of manhood more sexually mature than a woman, let's say, at 17? You know,
they
because
actually say women are more mature earlier.
Well, that's as far as dealing with life. Now, when I'm talking about dealing with sexuality, a woman doesn't come into her like actual sexual peak until she's, let's say, 30, whereas opposed men, it's 18 for us.
Oh, I get what you're saying.
You see
like
what
the
I'm
cougar
saying?
theory.
Not necessarily the cougar theory, just when you are actually supposed to be most actually procreative in life. As a man is supposed to be when you're pretty much a teenager, early 20s, versus a woman.
So the sex drives are in two different ranges.
Yes.
So that's why Demi Moore and Ashton Kutcher dated.
Maybe.
I was kind of mad at that. Or Mariah and Nick Cannon. I was kind of mad at that.
What, you wanted to be Nick?
Oh, pause.
No matter what celebrity you want, we're never gonna get.
Why? Because I went to Wild 'N Out the other night.
No, you want to be Nick? I would have loved to have been married to Mariah Carey.
Oh, I thought you said Nick as in Nick Cannon. I'm like, damn, this dude's just trolling my ass right now.
No, I'm saying like you wanted to. You're jealous or saying you're upset at Mariah. You know, you would have loved to have been Nick Cannon in that scenario. I mean, I would have. I grew up with a huge crush on Mariah Carey.
You know what?
Like, I still look at Mariah Carey now and be like, yeah, she's still a dime piece as messed up as she is to me. She's still gonna be like Mariah. You know what I mean?
Sometimes like mental instability is sexy.
Yeah, no, I feel you. It can go a long way in the bedroom.
Yeah.
But back to the conversation.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm
in
saying.
the corner, you know.
Think about
Don't just drop the hardest knowledge.
We were probably so young.
We
were probably so young when we had
where do we
crushes
go?
on Mariah, whoever, Jennifer Lopez.
Right, and if one of them would have approached us
that's
at
pedophilia.
17, we would have been.
Fuck yeah.
But it's like them like engaging with us.
Yeah.
But now if we're attracted to older women,
Right.
and vice versa, a lot of younger women are attracted to older guys.
Right.
Now what happens in between? You wait until that age of consent thing. I'm not saying you don't cross that line or not, but some people, they pick and choose to take advantage of the situation at the time.
I feel you.
Some will wait till they're 18, and some will be like, "Yo, I can deal with it."
I ain't justifying anything, but
I'm just saying what people do.
Yeah.
So,
I don't agree with it.
I think Seth though like really put it the best that we could even say it. But before we leave it, does anyone have an opinion on what they think a line age of consent should be?
There's no should be there.
I agree with everything
if I'm
you said.
50
but
and you're 25,
you're that's what
I
past age of
still
consent.
have an advantage over you, man.
No, yeah. But what about if you're 20 and you're 17?
Just obey the law, dog.
No, actually,
because
you're
otherwise
not breaking the law.
It's wrong. I think ultimately it's wrong. It's
It's a gray area.
20 and 17, you're not breaking the law. The age of
you know what I mean? The
consent.
dudes you knew in high school, you look back at them like that fucking pedophile. Like I know
But that's
I
the
don't.
thing, right? In certain countries, they're trying to even lower the age of consent.
Well, I heard they're actually trying to do that here.
Yeah.
Well, not
Like, there's
here.
times
So
in
now,
the
are they
UKs.
wrong for trying to lower
Really?
it?
In the UK, some politician was like, "Hey, let's lower it."
It's really
10,
up in the air,
which is absolutely ridiculous.
That's
but in
crazy.
Canada, I believe the age of consent is 16.
Yeah, which is already. I think that's the lowest it should ever
That makes
be.
sense. Yeah, that makes sense.
And even still, I'm like more like I think like almost 17. You know what I
but
mean?
if they chose to make it lower, would anybody fight against it? I know some might.
No, people
but
will
I'm just
fight
saying,
against
like,
shit.
We don't know.
Well, I mean, if you were to go by, I mean, I remember watching Malcolm X, and what was it? Elijah Muhammad said half your age plus 7 or something like that, or half your age plus 11 or something. It was like some number like that, you know. So
you're trying to moralize it.
There was like,
but then how much lower does it go based on half your age plus something?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like,
at 25, that would be 18. At 40, that would be 27.
So at a lower age would be something else.
Yeah.
Right?
I feel you.
It's weird, man. It's just weird. It's just
no,
weird.
it's definitely weird. And you know what? Again, it's weird
space.
that the face of the Me Too movement, again, is kind of caught up in this situation. Let's see what happens with it. You know, but again, if it was reversed, it definitely would be a worse situation.
Yeah, it would be
so
worse.
this could be looked at as society being hypocritical.
Yeah.
Well, it's just everybody going after everybody now.
Yeah.
That's what it is now.
Yeah.
Like 21 and 17, sure. Both ages, I think you haven't.
Oh no, she's
through
not
life.
21. She was like 34 or something. She's
At the time?
Yeah.
Oh, when that's happened?
Yeah, this happened like not too long ago. Like the kid was 17. She was
I thought
like
you said
30s.
she was 20. This was when she was 21.
No, I
He's
think
saying
someone
in
just
her
threw that
place.
number out, but I'm pretty sure she's well into her 30s and he's like 17.
So again, ultimately it comes down to just it being wrong because as society we've built this barrier that we've put these laws and these rules in place, and even with the way that everything goes, we just get easier on society. We kind of just start going easier on certain places, right?
Yeah.
I mean, these things come up, and then next you know we sort of give a little bit.
Yeah.
We kind of give a little bit. Look who's president of the United States. We gave a little bit, right? I mean, I hate to use the word
on that one.
I hate to use the word witch hunt because he uses it all the time, but now that's all this Me Too movement has turned into is let's see who we gonna get now. Like people are going back like the tweets. Yeah, and look, and there's people that have done things wrong and should absolutely be.
Okay, well speaking about going on the tweets,
I know down the line I might be in a lot of trouble.
For sure, all of us have
And
been in a lot of trouble
I
to go
don't
through
care.
our tweets from
I
back
don't
in the
care.
day. You know, we'll all be in fucking deep shit.
Yeah.
But have you guys been up to snuff with the whole James Gunn, the director from Guardians of the Galaxy scenario?
Not yet.
Somewhat? Okay, so what do you think of that situation? Because you said someone went back on the tweets and exposed him kind of, you know, talking
What was it
about
that he said?
He made a joke. He made a joke about pedophilia, but then somebody I actually saw last week that they had pictures where he had a pedophile or a To Catch a Predator theme style.
Wow.
So there's literally pictures of like guys and then like the little girls being like leaders or whatever, and then you know they're pretending to throw To Catch a fucking Predator.
Wow.
Or whatever, right?
You know, go ahead.
That's weird to me. That's creepy as shit. I love Guardians of the Galaxy.
Here's the question. Forget how you feel about it. Should he be fired?
That's on his management. That's on his and his agent. That's even when it comes down to these sports. Like there's been baseball players lately that have been busted for old tweets and that have been you know, and that comes down. Sure, you shouldn't have said it. Sure, but that comes down to the agent. That comes down to the person who should be looking after you. You're about to make it big. Wipe your account. Clear everything. I don't care if you have this world's greatest tweet. Tweet it again, but get rid of everything and go forward. Because if you're not that person anymore, don't let there be any representation of that being you online.
No, absolutely.
And if it comes up now, you got a lot of apologizing and a lot of hey, look, I'm a good person to do because
I've changed and shit.
Yeah, up until that point, people think you're a great person and you're a great team player, you're great in the locker room, this and that, and then this comes out, and all of a sudden you've got to try and
save your life.
You got to save your life for the people that aren't in the locker room with you.
It's all a game.